It is a funny thing to me. Judith Butler, whom I majorly like in that sort of Facebook sense, except not really, as I dig deeper, finds herself expressing towards the Trump voter the same attitude the Founding Fathers did to the original Americans. Now, this does fascinate me. She dismisses them. Often, maybe, congenitally, because they dismissed her, but probably not. David Sirota, another bud, says, I'm not going to try and to psychoanalyze Trump. Smirk to camera, we smirk back because we know. Dave, he is so easy. He is not like you. He is irreligious where you are a zealot. An absolutist like Nikki Giovanni said about the Korean kid who shot up Virginia Tech, killing 32. I knew the devil when I saw it. I kicked him out of my class. And we all nodded to Nikki. Way to go. Kicked him out of your class. That was helpful, wasn't it? Long lines of people are now substacking what a great heroic nation this was until Donald Trump. I don't have an objection to looking at Trump and his world and his crew and his thing and going barf. However, the myth that before him, surrounding him, we were some sort of this thing that America keeps saying, telling itself that it is. It is America's greatest flaw. We are feeding the 5,000, ending AIDS in Africa, saving Latin America from themselves, and lately proxying against Putin to the last Ukrainian while ensuring Netanyahu lives to kill and to kill. God, we were good. For all this I have done already and might do another day, but for today, Judith Butler. What slowly hit me with a slow hammer, was how Catholic she is in her taste. The Catholics, Christians, monotheists share generally the conviction that we are born in sin. We are unnatural, we are horrible, and our salvation is only found in the books, doctrines, and as we found out recently, the faithful are not even expected to actually read, only to attend the lectures, the sermons, and listen. The roots of our education system in this are profound. The idea that as young people we are essentially wrong is a Christian idea, that we need to be righted by our education runs all the way through to super graduate schools. And so those people who suffer their way through that system come out believing that they are somehow better human beings than everybody else. I find this worldview catastrophic, nay, the root. The Butler problem is she never sees it in herself. That's another facet of education, like Susan Nyman saying, oh, tribalists, not acknowledging her own tribe, only in the others. Quote, they are brainwashed and conspiratorial and educated in the way I value. They are tribal, I am not, though that long list of PhDs defining me leave no doubt of the tribes to which I adhere like a fly on, end quote. If you say so-and-so needs no introduction, please do not introduce them. End paragraph. Parentheses. She and David blithely engage in that most favorite of monotheistic pastimes, dismissal of the rest. Intolerant as their enemies, they fail to see. As I look sometimes, like your tribe, you nod at me knowingly. Forgive us our dismissals as we forgive those who dismiss against us. Brava, but you lie. Why is Henry V more interesting than Hamlet? He has a fucking job. The struggles of unemployment are grave and destructive until they are not, until you find that job. That having an opinion has become a job is a slippery slope that sheds light on a hell of a lot. Quote, I write books, bestsellers that reassure my buyers and nothing more, end quote. Corrupted? Moi? Impossible. Minor but intriguing, just for your information, Socrates nor Jesus, not a crooked figure betwixt them, and no tenure. They relied on journalists / gospel writers of the New York Times of Hebron and or Athens, and their truths, their actions cost them, not their biographies. They were like Rosa Luxemburg. Adolescence, the TV show, not the blessed state, rises again. And yes, it is the men. But the garden of adolescence needs tending, not made into a desert, which is what the English do. The obvious intent of what we dub education, of which you are product, Judith. So transcendent, so passionless. A detour. The men might tend while women defend. Role reversing? Not if you're whole. But with our Father, which art in heaven, the greatest of all dismissers, looking on. It's tough. Now, I had a thought the other day. I've seen the most magnificent production of Othello, the play, in New York, with Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal and my friend Rob Heaps and many, many other marvelous players. And it's days since I've seen it, but I was just mesmerized is all I can say. And I'm a harsh critic of theater and Shakespeare because it's my work. But I remembered Hugh Corsi, a product of one of the vaunted Uxbridge branches, saying he had a huge problem playing Othello, which he did very effectively in a production by Iqbal Khan a few years ago in London. I think you can still see it. It's very interesting. It's a great play. And he said that, as one would, you would say, well, there's Othello, and he gets taken in by Iago, and then he endows Othello with being a great judge of character. Well, he got took in by Iago, and he doubts himself enough to doubt his decision about Desdemona profoundly. It may be that Othello gets took in a lot. Now, in Shakespeare terms, that does not make him stupid. It's a really, really significant thing, I think. It's my opinion. I played Mark Antony in Antony and Cleopatra. The same thing happens to him. He gets took in by Augustus. What's his name? He gets taken in by the future of Rome. The age is changing, and he gets taken in by this cunning, calculated, nasty type. And it's interesting to me how the academic wants to endow themselves and the world that they live in, and maybe the world they inhabit as actors, as being super aware. And that is the great thing to be, is to be aware and to be more knowledgeable, to have everything on the ball, to be, smart and all the rest of it. And Shakespeare, bless him, many flaws, but in that sense, over and over again, he seems to stress that the great human beings are gullible, and that's part of their greatness. So in a sense, Othello is betrayed. He's betrayed by Iago, whom he claims he loves. He loves Cassio. He does a lot of loving, Mr. Othello. A wide, generous person who gets took in by a more angry, a smaller person. That's his greatness. That Hugh Corsi finds that to be some sort of a racist slur against Africans. He is much more qualified than I to say that, but I just wanted to make that point anyway, and to once again extol the virtues of Kenny Leon's direction of Othello at the Ethel Barrymore Theatre. And it's incredibly expensive, but God, it's a celebration of what we all do. Ciao.